Let me tell you, nothing, and I mean nothing, wakes you up. Like the clatter of handcuffs outside your window and a bunch of federal agents pointing flashlights at your face. I'm talking heart in your throat, sweat on your palms. Is this really happening kind of terror? The lead officer's radio crackled something about subjects secured, and behind them, just far enough to enjoy the show, sat Shirley Allen, my lovely HOA president, with a smile so wide you'd think she'd just won the lottery instead of watching my life fall apart. Federal property seizure warrant. You have 1 hour to evacuate. Ever had a nightmare come true before breakfast? Drop your horror stories below because mine's about to take you for a ride. Back it up to last Sunday, picture this. I'm on my porch, coffee in hand, minding my own business. Sun's barely up, lake's glassy. And here comes this white Lexus crunching over my gravel like it owns the place. Out steps Shirley, queen of the HOA drama magnet and lately part-time fraud artist, if you ask me. She flashes that icy, toothy grin. Yeah, the one that makes you want to check your wallet, and she's got Rita Foster trailing behind her, clutching a folder that looks heavier than my mortgage. Jim, we need to discuss some serious violations, Shirley says, spreading a rainbow of color-coded notices across my table like she's playing Risk with my property. Rita's got the hands of a hostage, knuckles white, avoiding eye contact, just about shaking out of her shoes. That's not neighborly concern, that's somebody on the edge forced into a role they hate. I'm Jim Anderson, 38, medically retired cop, bum knee, 3 years of what I thought was peaceful lake living, until now. I flip through violation photos and sure, that's my dock, my shed, my life. But suddenly, it's all urgent. These modifications were grandfathered, I say, but Shirley's already got new regulations lined up, and Rita's peppering me with questions about when I check the dock, what time I go for boat rides, if I have cameras. This is not casual HOA business. This feels like reconnaissance. Rita, you writing my biography? Or is this just friendly curiosity, I joke. But she barely laughs, just says, it's for community safety. Yeah. And I'm the Easter Bunny. The more they talk, the more my old cop instincts kick in. They're cross-referencing my answers. Rita's sneaking glances at her phone, and every neighborly question is being filed away. Then comes the money bomb. A special assessment of $20,000 is due within 30 days, plus ongoing compliance costs. For what existing while owning lakefront property? Their official forms are nosier than a police intake sheet, visitor logs, work schedules, even financial info. I feel like I've just been interrogated in my own home. When they leave, I flip on my old police scanner. Thing's got a cracked antenna, but it still picks up FRS radio bands. That's when I catch something bone-chilling. Package assessment confirmed. Resistance patterns documented. Subject showing expected behavioral responses. That's not HOA language, that's operational jargon, the kind you hear on law enforcement task forces. They're not just harassing me, they're running an intelligence op. And get this, Shirley gives me a QR code for Morrison Marine Compliance Services. The website's a joke, no address, no licenses, nothing but stock photos. But what I notice in her car is real. A rack of expensive audio gear, more than you'd ever need for taking dock pictures. Turns out Shirley's son Carl is the brains behind this marine compliance racket, a guy who's never held a steady job suddenly running high-end recording operations. Monday the inspectors arrive. Picture 2 guys in crisp uniforms with fancy clipboards and earpieces acting like they own the place. Their badges fakes. Their credentials. Home-printed nonsense. They try to bait me with questions, even play back doctored audio clips. My own voice chopped up and rearranged into threats I never uttered. That's when it hits me. They're manufacturing evidence. Right after these wannabe enforcers leave, Rita shows up nervous as ever. But this time I spot something, a stack of medical bills sticking out of her purse. Specialist visits, insurance denials, the kind of financial catastrophe that keeps you up at night. When I ask, she breaks down. Her daughter's got cancer. Treatment's $60,000 and insurance won't touch it. Shirley's paying Rita $500 a week to spy on neighbors' community coordination work, she calls it. In reality, she's profiling everyone for vulnerabilities, medical bills, financial trouble, whatever might make you crack. Turns out I'm not the only one. 3 other communities have called the county about Morrison Marine. Detective Jake Williams is already on the case, tracking the same operation across half a dozen lakes. This isn't local drama, it's organized crime, and I'm smack in the middle of it. So I decide to fight back. I tell Rita I'm hiring a fictional waterfront attorney, and sure enough, within an hour, there's a black sedan at her place, a payoff, a briefing, whatever you want to call it. I confront Rita with photos of the exchange. She confesses everything: money for info bonus, for active surveillance, detailed reports on who might cave under pressure. Turns out my property plus 2 others is the linchpin for an $800,000 developer deal. Carl's running a basement studio with pro-grade editing gear, crafting fake evidence, feeding it to Shirley, who honestly believes she's saving her mom with all this criminal consulting. Rita even lets me see the operation folders of onboarding samples, USB sticks with voice splices, instructions from consultants who specialize in driving people out. By midweek, Jake's got the county prosecutor involved. The plan document everything let them hang themselves in a public HOA meeting. Shirley, crumbling under the weight of what she's done, shows up at my door. Her mother's dying. She's drowning in debt. Carl's convinced her that compliance consulting is legit. She's desperate, not evil, but that doesn't make the consequences any less real. Friday, the showdown. 47 neighbors pile into the community center. Carl's crew sets up their gear jams, cell phones, and starts rolling out their manufactured evidence audio of me threatening people, bogus paperwork, the whole circus. The crowd's ready to vote me out of my own home. Carl, feeling untouchable, calls in backup on his secure radio channel. Except here's the twist: Detective Williams answers back clear as day on the same frequency. "Carl Morrison, you're calling the wrong channel. This is Detective Williams County Police, and you're under arrest." You should have seen Carl's face. The color drained right out of him. Turns out county radios were immune to the jamming, and the whole room watched as law enforcement marched in and shut the whole operation down. Carl's fancy tech seized for evidence. Shirley, devastated, confessed to being manipulated by her own son. Rita, protected as a witness, finally got legal help for her daughter. 12 families across 6 communities got full compensation property, restored legal expenses paid. The county overhauled the HOA, kicked out all the old leadership, and put strict checks in place so nothing like this could ever happen again. But here's the kicker. Rita let me in on one more secret. Carl hadn't just been fabricating evidence for property grabs. He was collecting data for someone bigger, someone interested in law enforcement tactics, response times, the works. We'd stumbled into something way larger than just local fraud. So that's my story. I got my home back, my community rebuilt, and maybe helped bust the biggest property fraud ring in the country. If you've ever faced down a room full of neighbors turned into a mob by lies, if you've had to stand your ground against fake authority, drop your stories below. Do you think justice was served? Ever wonder how many people get chewed up in the gears of systems meant to protect us? And if you made it through this whole saga, hey, you deserve a medal. Or at least another wild story. Hit that next video, share your thoughts about justice and standing up for what's right. And don't forget, sometimes the broken stuff saves you when nothing else will.